Hey guys, you've seen those armchair documentaries about horror and mystery pulling millions of views, right? Usually it takes teams of editors and 3D animators. But what if you could make one alone with nothing but AI? That's exactly what I did with the Red Coat Mystery. Are you ready? Let's dive in. All right guys, let's start our tutorial. As you can see, YouTube channels like Fern are collecting millions and millions of views on YouTube and TikTok. And behind this channel, there is a big team of over 20 people working behind the scenes. And it's quite a complicated work to make one video like this. This takes a couple of weeks with a lot of 3D animations and a lot of hard work. But in this tutorial, I'm going to show you how you can easily recreate this kind of style of scary armchair documentaries of detective stories just using this AI alone. We don't need a big team. We don't even need a voiceover artist. We'll do everything with AI, starting from images, style, voice, story, and putting the all together. Let's get started. As always, we are going to start with ChatGPT, and we asked it to learn everything about Fern-like style. So to study Fern channel and then learn everything about his style. So ChatGPT saying it's going to create documentary, essay vibe, deep research, history facts, and less known urban stories. And then we have also visual storytelling, low polygon, clean motion design, a lot of fog, only mostly blue, dark, dark red, and black colors. So that's the style we have. Now we are going to create a story about a mystery tent, and here you can see I asked it to create a story about Matthew, who was found in a broken tent. And this is a huge mystery story. I'm not going to read it right now, but in the end of the video, you'll see how it turned out. Then I'm gonna ask to add a couple of extra details and make it more suspenseful. Then I ask it to criticize and check the story and see how we can add more suspense, more chilling facts. And you see ChatGPT comes back with its own critiques and gives a lot of ideas. And I like ideas 6, 5, and 4 and going to add it to the story as well. And here is our final story ready to go. It should be about 2 or 3 minutes chilling video made out of this. Now, what we are gonna do, is develop the visual style, and we need a breakdown of the scenes. So for each scene, I'm asking it to create visual style prompts, which we can try and use. And for example, we're gonna do it with first 3 scenes, and here is the prompt for each one. And now let's try to generate them. For the image generation, I tried different models, and honestly, I think still nothing beats Midjourney in terms of vibe and scary fog. So here is several generations I got from Midjourney. And look, it looks really amazing. And only thing that I don't like is that it doesn't really follow the Fern style. So we have too much colors, and what I want it to have is only mostly shades of blue and red and dark. So there is way too much of realism here. However, I love the composition, I love the storytelling, I love the vibes, and now we are gonna improve the styling as well. And to improve the styling, we went to Vortex Channel Agent. It's a AI agent which can do a lot of modifications to the images using the best models such as Nano Banana, Seed Dream, and many others. And I'm putting my original image as a prompt, and also I give the reference style, and I ask to restyle this image in the style of image 2 and keep the details and composition without change. And here is the result we got. See, it's much closer to the style we have in Fern videos. And I asked it again in different model, and again, I get even better results. And what you can also do is to describe the style in text instead of reference images. And then we also get a couple of generations, something like this, using the text as well. Then you're gonna pick the ones you like, and we go to the next stage is animation. For animation, we are also gonna use Vortex Generator. Just click make viral video and the prompt will be figures and objects are frozen in time, completely still. Camera slowly circles around the scene and gradually zooms in, creating an unsettling documentary style feeling. So we put our image, and for the model, the best what we have is Vortex Dance. It's a C dance model and you can put 10 seconds duration, and then the results are pretty impressive. Something like this, very scary fern-like animations ready to go. So you can create a lot of animations like this and prepare it. Alternatively, if you don't want to create a lot of animations because you will use a lot of credits, you can also do it in Midjourney and create kind of extended, very long videos. For example, like this, like walking, for example, in the woods, you can do in Midjourney. And it's pretty good as well for storytelling. That's just an additional trick that you can try. Finally, we need to create our documentary voiceover, and for this we go to 11 Labs. We create a clone voice and we are going to create our own original voice. And for description, you put something like a young American male in his late 20s, early 30s. Conversational, investigative, and steady tone. Engaged, thoughtful, and quite intense. And it will generate 3 variations for you. And then you get 3 voices to choose from. For example, I like this one, and then you click select voice and you are ready to create a voiceover. So now we are gonna put all our script into recording, and 11 Labs will generate the speech for us and we can save the file.
So here's the voice that we made. Do you like it, guys?
And finally, we can combine everything in CapCut, my editing software of choice. The most important part is, of course, adding sound design and scary sounds like camera flash, campfire burning, and jump scare effects such as metallic rises and blade whooshes. They're all free in CapCut, by the way. And no video works without epic background music. For that, we use Suno, which just released their new version 5. Truly epic if you want Hollywood-style background tracks. If you need extra sound effects like scary footsteps and breathing, you can make them directly in 11 Labs effects section. And that's pretty much it. It took me about a day to make the whole thing alone. No studio, no animators, no scriptwriters, no 3D artists. Just me, my creativity, and the power of Vortex AI. So follow along, create your own story, and don't forget to subscribe to our channels. I'll see you in the next one. And now, let's roll the final movie. Turn off the lights, take the children out of the room, and enjoy.
In the fall of 2021, deep in the Roosevelt National Forest of Colorado, a young couple, Emily and Daniel Harris from Boulder, set out on what was supposed to be a quiet weekend hike. What they found in those woods has since become one of the most disturbing mysteries tied to Colorado's long history of disappearances. Near a dried-out creek bed, overgrown with aspen roots, they stumbled on a decaying tent, half buried under pine needles and snowmelt. Its canvas was shredded as if by animals, but inside were scattered, rotting belongings. An old-style camping stove, a rusted mess kit, and a small Sony Handycam. Just outside, next to a collapsed campfire pit, lay a red wool coat. Thick, heavy, and reeking of mold, it looked like something straight out of the 1960s, completely out of place in the 21st century wilderness. What unsettled them most was that, despite its decay, the coat felt strangely warm to the touch, as if someone had just been wearing it minutes earlier. At first, they assumed it was just abandoned junk, but curiosity led them to pry open the camera. Inside was a single memory card, corroded yet intact. Back at their cabin, they loaded it onto a laptop. What they saw forced them to contact authorities, though to this day no one has been able to fully explain what was captured on those final recordings. The footage belonged to Matthew Cole, a 29-year-old aspiring filmmaker from Denver, who vanished in October 2006 while documenting a solo hike through Roosevelt National Forest. His case remains one of Colorado's most baffling unsolved disappearances. Search teams found no trace, no body, no gear, not even footprints, until this card was discovered. The recovered video begins ordinarily enough. Matthew sets up camp near a ridge at 8,700 feet elevation, October 14th, 2006. He films himself cooking a simple meal of soup on the fire. Then, movement. Out of the dark tree line, 2 figures emerge. A man and a woman, middle-aged, gaunt, their skin pale and tight as if dehydrated. Their clothes look decades out of place. worn, faded hiking gear straight out of the 1960s. The woman wears the red coat. At first, Matthew greets them warmly, even offering them food and water. But the longer they sit by the fire, the stranger it becomes. Their clothes look soggy and wet, though October had been dry that year. When Matthew offers them to sit closer to the warmth, they seem to recoil, almost like wild animals afraid of the flame. Their hollow eyes stare straight through him, not at him, staring as if he weren't there at all. He offers them food again. They look starving, their bones sharp beneath their skin, yet they do not touch it. Their voices are barely audible, thin and slithering, like a snake's hiss, as if they hadn't spoken in years. Matthew notices the man's wristwatch, rusted, cracked, its hands frozen at exactly 3:14 a.m. Later, investigators would note that 3:14 a.m. was the same time the tape would capture Matthew's tent being surrounded, almost as if the watch had already known what was coming. Stranger still, they have no backpacks, no tent, not even a camera to suggest they were hikers at all. The tape runs for 20 more minutes before they stand, thank him quietly, and fade back into the woods. Later that night, Matthew leaves his camcorder running inside the tent. Around 1:13 a.m., the footage jolts awake with the sound of twigs snapping outside. Matthew's breathing grows frantic. He grabs his flashlight, unzips the tent, and steps out. The camera catches only the beam of light swinging wildly across the pines.
Hello?
"Who's there?" he shouts.
Hello?
Then the lens swings down. On the ground, just feet from the tent, lies the red coat, the same one the woman wore hours earlier. Matthew lifts it briefly. It is impossibly warm to the touch despite lying out in the freezing night air. The recording captures his muttered confusion. The tape ends minutes later. We hear slow, deliberate footsteps circling the tent, a low, almost inhuman whisper, then muffled, struggling noises, and silence. That was the last known image of Matthew Cole. His body was never recovered. The tent, camera, and red coat remained hidden for 15 years until Emily and Daniel's discovery. Even more disturbing, investigators traced the style of the clothing to a couple reported missing in the exact same forest in October 1962, Harold and Ruth Wilcox of Fort Collins. They were last seen wearing nearly identical outfits. Their case, too, was never solved. What really happened in those woods? Was it starvation, hallucination, or something much darker? Something that still roams Roosevelt National Forest 60 years later. Nobody knows. But the red coat remains in evidence storage in Boulder County, mold-stained, weather-worn, and radiating the same unanswered question: who, or what, was really sitting by Matthew's fire that night?